inflation, core inflation is sticking around.
Yeah.
Interest rates.
OCR looks like it's going to go up.
Yep, it's been revised for another quarter.
It's very possible that we could get an economic international downgrade.
Downgrade by Fitch.
Yep, that's very possible. But here's the biggie. Here is the biggie. 29,000 more people unemployed, and that is a pretty conservative guess.
Wasn't it Nicola Willis or was it Erica Stanford who said, just get a job? I mean, if you want more money than being on a benefit, just get a job. You know, sounds easy when you say it, just as simply as that.
Yeah. All those indicators tell me that it's going to be a bleak year, not only for this government, but for New Zealanders. And you know what? What's the trick next year? What are they going to borrow? Another $15 billion? I don't know what else they've got.
Certainly not borrowing money to waste like the previous government did.
But you're borrowing it for tax cuts. You're borrowing it for tax cuts.
Well, let's be clear.
Do you accept that you're borrowing it for tax cuts?
So the last
Absolutely
6 months
not.
we have seen a strong economic slowdown because of a handbrake put on by this government around house builds, around school builds. No, you can have a look at some of the economists what they're saying of the last 6 months, which is there has been an economic slowdown because of the construction.
Economy, borrowed $100 billion, led to the most outrageous inflation.
But you're borrowing
the
more.
Reserve Bank.
So let's talk about inflation because your government has.
That's such a good line. But you're borrowing more.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing that he is still in 2024 sitting there pretending that COVID wasn't a global thing.
Yeah.
This is something I said before, where they bring up interest rates and that sort of thing. They believe that everything that happens in New Zealand is only affected by things that happened in New Zealand. That a country that is based on import and export, somehow inflation is only Labour's fault. When I talk about intellectual honesty, this is what I'm fucking talking about. Is this a dumb guy or a smart guy trying to be dumb?
Yeah, well, it gets dumber. So strap in.
Economy borrowed $100 billion, led to the most outrageous inflation.
But you're borrowing
the
more.
Reserve Bank.
So let's talk about inflation because your government has said you've got a sharp focus on inflation. The three things that are making inflation persistent in New Zealand, so non-tradable inflation.
In case people don't know, she's the finance spokesperson for Labour as well.
Insurance premiums,
and they keep going up, right?
Council rates, and rents.
Yeah.
What was one of the very first things that this government did when they came in? They removed the affordable water reforms. Hence, councils had no plan other than, through their long-term plans, a number of them are getting signed off now,
no one believed
to
that would save
increase
money.
their rates.
$1.2 billion
You were the only
blown
one
and
that
not a
didn't
single
believe. You were
pipe
one of the
fixed.
few people that believed it didn't. But actually, if you look at Auckland, the deal for Auckland, the rates increases 7%. It should have been 3% under the affordable water reforms. And then you look at rents.
Wow.
Again, the budget documents, because it's quite clear you haven't read them.
Kiwis have longer memories than that, Barbara. $1.2 billion on 3 waters. That's what Labor spent. Not a single pipe was built. We're actually going to get stuff built.
Yeah, Simon, can I ask you a question? If your government is so great and Labor government is so shite, why has the centre right dropped by 3 members of Parliament in the latest poll? Well, why aren't your numbers going up? You're not even halfway to your.
I'm not so much into this part of the conversation. Poll schmoles, but
your leader, the leader of the New Zealand First, and the Prime Minister, why are their numbers tanked only 7 months into the election cycle? This is unprecedented, Simon.
Kiwis
Surely you must be concerned about this.
Shane, they are hurting. 3 years of tax and spend, lockdowns in Auckland that went on and on and on, kids kept out of school, failing services,
and now look at what's happening.
roads.
You've changed
Kiwis
the guidelines for schools.
Kiwis are hurting. We're 6 months. Barbara, let me.
Classrooms are closing.
Barbara, give me a chance.
But you're
Kiwis are hurting.
classrooms.
Kiwis are hurting. And we totally appreciate that. Polls will bounce around. We have a big job to do to turn this country around. We are in turnaround mode. We have to find the money from private and institutional investors to build the infrastructure that taxpayers won't be able to afford to pay up front.
Privatisation.
Okay? We're going to have to bring in private institutional capital. Kiwis will be paying tolls,
a lot
more foreign investment in infrastructure. They will be paying tolls.
I think he's saying the quiet part out loud here, Chewy. I don't know if it's just you, but it sounds like he's saying the quiet part out loud. Private investment and foreign investment sounds like it's on the way in this government.
More foreign investment,
tolls,
a lot
more
more
foreign
things.
investment and infrastructure.
Good
They
luck
will be
getting that
paying
part.
tolls to drive on the
Simon.
roads. They'll be paying congestion charges in Auckland. We're going to be paying more for infrastructure. We're going to have better infrastructure that's going to improve productivity.
So user pays.
All of these things.
Martin.
We need the benefits. The people who get the benefits, Martin, should pay for the services. Well, I've got a water
User
meter in
pays,
Auckland. I go to places around New Zealand. I would never have water meters. We've had water meters in Auckland since 1996. We actually have the lowest usage per household of any city in New Zealand, and that's because we're metered and we pay a bill every month. It is possible to solve these problems. It doesn't all come back to, geez, we need to tax people more and cut the cake into smaller and smaller slices. Shane, Barbara, you've tried that. You've tried that for far too long.
No, we didn't actually.
haven't.
No, we did not.
We
That's
should
where
have taxed the
Martin,
rich, but we didn't.
Martin, can I just quickly say
It always comes back to that.
This is the problem
Yeah.
that Simon and this coalition of government have got. They got the neoliberals in terms of Simon and his leader David Seymour. Then they've got the economic nationalists. Winston Peter spent 40 years of his life going to every single town hall railing against foreign investment and the neoliberal agenda, and it will be the end of this government sooner rather than later.
There you go. So ironically, Chewy, what Shane DePoe is saying there without saying there is that this handbrake that Winston Peters promised to be might actually be a handbrake that ends up ending this government. If he's not into foreign investment, and if that's what they want to do, he's not going to let it. He already stopped the international home buyers tax. So this, I know Bombers predicted that within months of them swapping over deputy prime ministers, it's going to be all over. But he's not the only one talking about there are ructions ahead, my friend.
It's always foreign investment, isn't it? It's always foreign companies coming in to do these programs because little old New Zealand, we couldn't possibly do it. We never did, never could. Like it's just such small, petty thinking from ACT, and that man that looks like he used to be a turtle but got his shell stuck under a door frame or something. Please put him in front of the media more, because what a bloodbath.